Today on Diction and School Matters, we shall be looking at parents' attitude towards their children home practices or homework or take home or assignment or whatever your school calls it. Parents' attitude towards their children homework. If you ask anyone, is it the parents' duty or teacher's duty or the school's duty for children to do their home practices? Most persons will say it is the parent. But what I see in school today is not like it is the parents' duty for their children to do their home practices, because I discovered that most children, when you give them home practices, they return that home practice undone. No matter what you do, sometimes they reach the parent, oh, we're going to do it, we're sorry. The next day, the child is still coming back to school without that home practice done. And in this video, I would want to make it clear to every parent that it is not the duty of the school or the teacher to ensure that your child or your children do their home practices or homework. It is your duty as a parent to make sure that their children do their home practices. And if you don't do that, you have failed as a parent. Permit me to say, you have failed as a parent. Your duty is not just to pay school fees, pay all the fees, and without helping the children do their home practices or seeing how they can do their home practices for themselves or by themselves for those ones in the upper secondary and in the lower secondary. But I tell you that some parents will be like, I do not know anything in physics, I do not know anything in chemistry or mathematics. That's why I don't know how to help them. But I bet you, if your child is that one child that pays attention in class while the lesson is going on, every home practice he or she is given, he or she can do it because the teacher must have thought it before giving home practice on those topics. But I tell you, some parents will say that for the above, even for some children in the nursery classes, still come back with their home practices undone. And what do they give to them? Sometimes it's just counting and writing of numbers. Sometimes it's reading and writing of letters. Sometimes it's sounding and writing of letters, which every parent can do, but they still come back with those things undone. Now, whose fault is it? It is the fault of the parent. I know parents wouldn't want to hear this. Sometimes they'll be like, if the children were properly taught. I am a teacher. Before, as a matter of fact, before any home practice will be given, before giving any home work, the teacher must have taught that lesson. But you discover that children will still return it. And it's not telling good of you as a parent. But then, if you are busy, try as much as you can to give your child lesson. Give your child a lesson teacher. Not just a lesson teacher that will come play with the children and at the end of the day he came, he thought, but no results. Nothing changed. As in, no results and nothing changed. Get a lesson teacher that will help your child with home practices and make the child to understand whatever that has been taught. That is why some children do better than other children. And if you allow these children keep doing this thing, at a point they will lose that confidence in them. They will start feeling like maybe they are born not knowing anything. I've met a child who told me that he's not smart like his classmates. Before I got this child to believe that he's smart, it took time. Every day when I come to teach him, I will let him confess that he's smart. He's smarter than his equal. I kept making him to confess this, and he kept confessing until it came to a point where it became part of him. And that moment it became part of him, he began to pick. He began to pick, and before you know it, he started reading, he started doing the things he couldn't do. Why? Because he had already concluded with himself that he is not smart. And that is how some children are now. Why? Because it's not their fault. Maybe attention was not given at the right time, or the proper attention was not given. Now, what do I mean? Some persons will say, I'm always busy, but I gave this child a lesson teacher. Have you ever, try to understand if the lesson teacher you have given to this child is really doing the work, is really effective, is really achieving what you want to see in your child? Have you sometimes taken the pains of, okay, let me just come back early all the time the lesson teacher is going to be around. Let me hear and know the things he teaches my child. And if you discover that that lesson teacher is not doing better, why not change? You can change to have another lesson teacher. It's not bad, it's your money. You do that for the betterment of your child. No child is really dull or is really bad when the proper attention is given to that child. So it is your duty as a parent to ensure that your children do their home practices. It is also your duty to do everything that will enable them do that home practice if you are the type that is always not around. Don't allow the school do everything for you. The school can never do everything for you. Even if they are going to do all the things, but that home practice, they will not do it. It's not their duty. It's your duty, and don't allow your child come to that point where he or she will start thinking that this is how he or she is created and there's nothing that can be done about it. So that's all I have for you today. For more of this, do well to follow me now on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Diction and School Matters. Thank you.